What's going on, Dumb Marks? How's everybody doing today? Happy Saturday. I got a busy edition here of the Dumb Marks podcast, episode 165 for you today. We got our final resolution and NXT deadline predictions. Donald, Jason, how y'all doing today?
Here.
Today, good. Yeah.
Here.
Rough week. Rough week at work.
Any good stories?
Just like last week, I hate people. That's about it.
We got airing of the grievances coming up in a couple weeks. So.
Nah, that's about all. But everything else, good. So,
Good.
mhm.
Jason?
Nothing.
No family stories for the week?
I sat here on my couch for the week. That's it.
I'll blame you. That sounds nice. Got a busy weekend. I got to do my packing this weekend before I leave on Monday night. So
Hey, fun times for you.
that's always fun times. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because anytime I pack, no matter if it's for work or for fun, it's like I always feel like I'm going to forget something. You know, and
Mhm.
I'll be working while I'm on the trip. So it's like I got to pack all the work stuff up on top of my personal stuff. And then we're taking a van down. We're driving down. And we're going to do like one of those like things on the roof of the car, like for the luggage.
Mhm.
And so it's like we're limited on what we can have inside the car.
Yeah.
Because on the way back, we're going to have another person and their luggage on top of that, too. It's like, plus gifts, because we're doing Christmas down there.
Mhm.
So it's like, we got to pack all that shit up. It's like,
Unfortunately, Ty, I can't put that up.
maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe. Give that one for Ty. How you doing today, Ty? Well, Steve's not on at the moment. Hopefully he'll be joining us shortly. But yeah, like I said, got a lot of predictions to go through. NXT's got 7 matches. I think Impact's got 8. I was watching Impact this week, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But they keep touting this as Impact's last show. I think they're supposed to be taping episodes after this too. So it's like,
Mhm.
it's kind of weird that you're calling it Impact's last episode, but unless it is, and they're just going to do.
Was it their last big show? Like, big one as Impact?
It's not a pay-per-view, but it's like one of their like app specials.
Okay.
Mhm.
So like that's how they're touting it, but I don't know if they're going to. We don't have to.
Steve,
Yeah.
here, we'll skip it.
I don't know if they're going to be having any more like weekly impacts, or if it might just be like recaps, because they do that sometimes at the end of the year. Like they'll do like best of the year, and then like what they'll do for going into Hard to Kill. Because really, from the start of Bound for Glory, they've been like on the go. You know,
Mhm.
like at Bound for Glory, like here's your 2 matches for the next pay-per-view, and you know, and it's like, okay, we're already setting this up, so it's like they've been telling the stories already, but so we'll see how it goes.
That's good.
Really, for me this week, I wasn't big on wrestling at all. Like it was an off. I felt like an off week for the most part. Like I'm gonna have a Mount Rushmore, but it ain't gonna be much of a Mount Rushmore.
Type.
We know you're a fan already, Ty. You already said that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I just truly watched one show, which is NXT, my go-to. Everything else was fast forward through to see what happened. I stopped if I seen if anything was important, but
Sure.
that was about it. So
I missed all of AEW. I still gotta watch it. I'm gonna watch it though.
I enjoyed the Edge and Christian match. I thought it was okay.
Mm.
You know, that was the match they were hyping up the most. Donald, go ahead and say it. Say your new catchphrase.
Viva la Chica Blanca.
Now, were you disappointed they gave that away on free TV, or were you just expecting more to come from it?
I mean, that's AEW doing WCW stuff.
It really is. I wasn't expecting Hogan Goldberg, like
Mhm.
expecting like this big moment. What happened was kind of what I was expecting.
Okay.
I figured they did it because they were in Canada.
Yeah.
I figured that was the reason for it. But it wasn't bad. It was decent. The continued story of the Devil and MJF and Samoa Joe and all that continued on. That had my interest a little bit. But that was kind of it for this week in wrestling for me. So mine's gonna be boring. So who wants to start? But who has more to start us off?
All of my stuff is in NXT, so I'll do it whenever we go through predictions.
Okay.
Mine is too, but I'll just throw mine out there. We talk about moments over matches, and I'm gonna give mine the Last Legend for slamming Otis. That was
impressive.
That was impressive, and it kind of turned the crowd a little bit. And my thinking is like, where do you go from here?
Yeah.
Especially when she picked up the second, that second movement when you seen it was her strength. I was like, okay, because the first one was all momentum from Otis, but when she actually hooked it, I was like, all right.
Because then when they cut to her doing that summit, little cheers in the crowd, little claps for her. I'm like,
I was like, I'm just staying in the comment section today. I'm not even getting anything promoted.
Like I say, moments over matches. Nikita Lyons was a moment, and look, you ain't got to do nothing. She could just come out, and she's the fan favorite. So maybe they can jump off something or they can play off something with this. Take away from metaphor, because that's just
They're all entrants.
All entrants.
All entrants.
And it has been for how long?
All entrants.
It's kind of funny because I mean, you guys know I don't watch NXT much, so I didn't see it this week. But the moment of slamming Otis, I saw on some non-wrestling pages this week.
Interesting.
Kind of like Nikita Lyons.
I saw Nikita Lyons in some reels, and that was cool. But yeah, it's like whenever I saw that, like, I was like, okay, they got something here,
They had Nikita Lyons on local news when that happened.
So no, that's a good moment to have.
Yeah.
This
is where do you go from here?
That's an interesting question. That can probably be a question for a lot of wrestling as we end this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see her winning the thing though. The
Iron Survival.
Yeah. Called last chance you. Like, what the fuck am I thinking
about? Mine for the week, and I'll talk about, and then we can kind of go into the predictions for it. And then after predictions, we'll cover Jabroni. I'm going to give it to Impact for the week just because it was Impact with AAA down in Mexico with this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the matches were cool. Like, it was okay, but I just felt like it was nice because it was something different. That's the reason why I'm going to give it. It was different, not something you're going to see all the time. It was a lot of Impact versus AAA or, a face tag team combined against a heel tag team combined from the two companies. So there's a lot of different matches that you're not going to see like week in and week out. So I'll give them that just for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not a specific match or anything, because I didn't feel like one match stood out from another one.
Cool.
So with that, we'll get into some predictions. You guys want to do NXT? You want to do Impact first? You guys got a preference?
Yeah.
Dawn, do you want to do your Mount Rushmore? Like, is it in a match, or do you want to talk about before we start the predictions?
The one, my jabroni. I have two jabronis and one thing, Mount Rushmore. So, I mean, we could do it when the match comes up.
Okay. All right, then we'll get into the NXT stuff first. So we'll start with the kickoff match. We got Axiom versus Nathan Frazier.
Maybe this might be match of the night. These two can always go. Yeah. These two can always go.
kickoff match of the night. Okay.
They had a good match on Tuesday.
This shouldn't be on kickoff.
Yeah. There's some matches on the regular card that should not be on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, with two friends going at it, a couple words here and there. Something. I'm going with Frazier in the match.
Okay.
I'll agree with you. I'll go Frazier. Yeah. I wonder if it turns eventually.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Somebody turning on somebody, possibly.
And he can use a refresher. He can. He can use a
Frazier?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he can use a reboot for something.
That would be cool if they do something like that. I think they've been doing like a February event and then doing WrestleMania weekend or like around WrestleMania time. So I don't know if that's what they're going to do this year. We'll probably find out tonight. It's a kickoff match. I'm going to go Axiom. Get the crowd going and get them hyped for some action. All right, so we'll get into the main card. Carmelo Hayes versus Lexis King. This is probably going to be Donald's match of the night.
I don't know. The way that they put Lexis King out there just in the middle of Carmelo and Trick's story going, I don't know. I think Lexis King might actually have Lexis win this.
I can't take him in that beard serious. So I'm trying to decide what's better for the story.
Do tell.
I might have to agree. I might have to agree with you. Lexis King might be better for the story.
Mm-hmm. Don't want to see it, but
no.
Mm-hmm. For the story of for the whodunit, still, you know, to keep it going on.
That's it, though, right? Like that's what this match is. You saw Lexis King run into the other room, right?
Yeah,
and that's what set up this match.
Yeah.
Sidebar: what is Ava now? She's like the GM of NXT. She's making the matches.
assistant GM now.
You know what that is? Creative has nothing for you.
Yes, exactly. You're more than catering, but you're not ready for the ring yet. So.
Yeah. I don't think this story's over.
Yeah.
So it's definitely continued on. I saw someone on another podcast this week talk about they don't think that it was still Lexis King because you didn't see it actually happen.
Yeah.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, because they were like, what if they think, and I forget who it was that said it, and that's why I don't want to say. Like, what if, Lexis King ran in and he was already being attacked? Like, that type of thing.
So.
Lexis is just low-hanging fruit, just to be who done it. At the end of the day, it's going to be Carmelo who attacked Trick. Come on. Yeah. I already told you, it's Shawn Michaels Triple H over again. The digitized face is going to come up.
We've watched enough wrestling.
This is tough because it's like I don't know if they're putting Lexis over right now. Like he is a big guy, and it's like,
and the loss doesn't hurt Melo.
No, it doesn't.
No, not at all.
So, but what are they doing with Melo after this? Like, I feel like they're just like we felt like he was ready for main roster for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is that it? Like, are we just going to get that payoff of a Melo and Trick match, and then he's gone? I don't think they're going to be in Chicago anytime soon. And there's your mark for the day.
I think once he has his match with Trick, which will probably be a Stand and Deliver, I think they might drag it out to that.
Yeah, and
Stand and Deliver, and then that's it.
Okay. That's how I feel like what they've been doing with Melo the past few months. They're just dragging
and Braun
it out.
also, and Braun also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I hate to go against Mello, but I think it makes sense for the story if Lexus wins. So, is that 3 for 3?
Yes, it is.
So,
Melo's winning.
yeah. All right, we'll get into the steel cage match: Roxana Perez versus Kiana James.
They already had that Halloween Havoc, like whatever playgrounds match, and now they're in a cage. You know, the playground match was more devastating than the cage. So,
And I hate whenever they do theme events like this, where the theme is supposed to be the Iron Survivor matches, and then we're going to add the cage match on top of that.
yeah.
I love this storyline. I love everything Kiana James touches.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a sucker for this one.
I bet you do.
But I'm gonna go Roxanne.
Roxanne had too many victories on the big stage. I think it's Kiana's turn to get a victory on the big stage. So I'm going Kiana.
You brought up their last match at Halloween Havoc. Who won that? I don't remember.
Roxanne.
Okay.
With the loaded purse.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Kiana then. If Kiana would have won that match, I was like, oh, this is the payoff. Roxanne's winning. But if Roxanne won that match and that wasn't the payoff, it doesn't make sense to bury Kiana at all. She's talented. They're both talented.
Yeah.
Roxanne has already been champ, but you're looking at both future women's champions on again in NXT or even on the main roster.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Kiana.
Yeah. The one have to win a big match if you want to build them up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this makes more sense. You want to make her look strong or stronger? This is the one to do that with. Around the horn, Roxanne's win.
Yeah.
All right. Donald's match of the night: North American Championship, Dom versus Dragon Lee.
Jabroni number 1. Jabroni number 1. Only the reason for Jabroni is how did Dragon Lee get the Charlotte Flair treatment? You haven't been nowhere near.
I thought you were calling Dragon Lee a jabroni first. Like I was like, wow, really? Like,
how did Dragon Lee get the Charlotte Flair treatment? Just like out of nowhere, I get a title match. Dom called the shots. Third best in the world called the shots. I'm sorry, but hey, after West gave his after West gave his shot up, Dom should have had an off day.
I agree. But I'm here for the match.
Yeah, I think this match is going to be a really good match too, Jason.
Yes.
I honestly, I was looking forward to Dom and Wes Lee too. So I was
definitely looking forward to that. Yeah.
So I think this is a very, this was probably who can we put in that's going to give the same style and quality of the match that we were expecting with Dom and Wes Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, who's winning. That's a given. It's like the only thing that they're doing here is giving you somebody from the main roster to give that little doubt. They're on the main roster. The title's already on the main roster. Dragon Lee could beat him too. But
if it was West versus Dom, I definitely would have picked West to win.
okay.
I think Dom had the title long enough.
Mm-hmm.
He did stuff with the title, on main roster and down at NXT. And I think Dom title run should be over with. But now since it's Dragon Lee, I'm picking Dom, of course, to win. Then by hopefully next pay-per-view, whenever he puts the title up, they already have somebody built up enough to take the title off of him.
Since Dragon lost on SmackDown, I figured if he'd have won, why would you keep going for one title and have another title? We're not doing 2 belts. This isn't Kingston. So I was going to I'll go Dragon for the win.
New champ.
New champ.
Okay.
Interesting.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, he a champ.
Okay.
I mean, I had West winning, so
Yeah.
are you going to drag it out or just roll the same storyline with somebody else? I don't know. I'll go Dragon.
I think it kind of depends on what they have in the works on the main roster for Dom.
Mhm.
You know, we're just about to we're heading into the Rumble. We're going into WrestleMania season from there. You know, what do they have planned outside of, you know, Judgment Day shit? Dom's not really in any specific storyline on the main roster, like a one-on-one storyline.
You said Rumble's next month. Dom number one entry, going all the way.
I'll go. I'll go Dom versus Logan.
Okay.
Not bad.
Hit a sour snag in that friendship. Play off that.
So then you have a one-on-one match. You have him doing something at WrestleMania instead of NXT, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Dom winning the Rumble and challenging Seth and Roman for both belts. I'm going to unify both belts.
He's going to main event WrestleMania with Pepsi Phil.
That would be interesting if they actually do, because like right now I don't see the point of them taking the belt off of Dom.
Mm.
Right at this moment with the Judgment Day, everybody's got titles. You know, Dom losing the belt isn't. Sorry, Donald. It's not going to really hurt anything in the story in the overall storyline.
No.
Like
I'll make them more hungrier.
Could do that. I mean, or they all pressure him into going for another title.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's going against Walter or going against Logan. You know, because you're not going to feed him to Seth or Roman again.
What do you mean feed him to Seth and Roman? You mean Seth and Roman being fed to him?
The one day we don't have alcohol. I was going to go with Wes, but I'm going to go with Dom to retain for this one. We'll see. I don't think it's dragging it out with him, but I'm sure there's going to be something, whether it's another pay-per-view before WrestleMania or
hopefully
a TV episode or something. Like something will happen.
Because
they do what is it, Valentine's Day or whatever?
Yeah,
Valentine's Day Massacre. Hopefully something, because it is starting to drag a little bit now with him in a title.
I mean, it's more a prop for him than a title.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does defend it. I'm not going to give him.
Mm-hmm.
Morning, Dave.
Morning.
How we doing?
Where were you last week? I had my CM Punk shirt on for you.
He did.
Really did. So yeah, we'll go with that. So got a little difference here.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see who actually wins this one. All right, we'll get into the NXT Championship. Dragunov versus Corbin.
Give me Corbin. Just to piss Chris off. And he's due. He's due for something.
Due for shit.
The man has been gold down there in NXT. Cutting the best promos of his life.
Giving him the Dom treatment like Donald. fourth best wrestler in the
number
world.
3 on my list. Honestly, don't see him taking off Dragunov, but I want Corbin to win.
Dragunov isn't losing this at all. Not to get the belt for 2 months, and then just losing it. I mean, Kip Barron is doing probably his best work since he's been with the company down here right now. They're definitely interested in the storyline and what they're telling. But Barron's just to help the young talent out. Elliott for the win.
Dragunov for the win. He cannot be defeated by Corbin. That can't happen.
Chris will never watch NXT again.
No, if that happens, no. I don't watch NXT much now, but I will definitely not watch NXT anymore if Corbin wins the title. That's all I got to say about that.
You want to come in next week with a lone wolf shirt?
All right, we'll get to the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Who you guys got?
For me, it's a toss-up between Jordan and Henley. I want to start pushing somebody new.
Okay.
And both of them I see potentially. So I'll go, give me Jordan.
Okay.
Interesting. For me, there's only one person who should win this, and that's Tiffany Stratton. I think she got a raw deal out of it from losing to Becky. So I need to see her back on top.
I agree. That's exactly what I'm thinking, that this match is specifically to put Stratton back on top and in the title picture.
But that's
I like Blair too. I wouldn't mind even seeing Blair, but it depends on what they're doing with this. Like, are they going to try to do it like what they did? Like, women's had a different outcome last year with the whole Mandy Rose situation. You know, they rushed that, I felt. Whether that was planned out of this match or not, who knows? But then, like, you know, you had Mello hold off until WrestleMania time, you know, for Stand and Deliver. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's good, you know, to hold off on it like a Money in the Bank type cash in for them. Or do I want to see it more like the next challenge? Since you're the number one contender, you're supposed to be the next challenger. You know, like, do I want to see that? Just two matches like this, just brought on quickly without story. But I'm going Stratton for the win. I think that's what this match is made for, is to get her back.
But then you have Tiffany take the belt off of Lyra?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
After one defense?
Yeah. Again, I think Tiffany got the raw deal out of Becky. She should have had a longer run. I think that was just a resume checker.
What's the message? I'm seeing everything, but I don't see anything specific. Do you think that's the best? We'll do the Triple H thing. Is that what's best for business? Is Tiffany getting the title back, or is it better to push somebody new?
It's always better to push somebody new, but again, something got robbed of their glory.
I think Tiffany's already made.
All right, that'll lead us into the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge.
Jabroni as a whole, and my Mount Rushmore. My Mount Rushmore is just anything that Trick does is gold for me now. I mean, he is probably one of my favorite wrestlers in the ring, out the ring. Everything he's gearing towards, the mellow stuff, everything he's doing with this Iron Survivor thing, I just love all of it. But he's not winning. Sorry. Because he got a story with Mella, so he can't win this.
But can he?
Damn it.
To that in a second.
He can. I agree with you, David. This was like a banger. Take Dijak out, and it's a 5-star classic.
And honestly, Dijak was going to be my winner because I was thinking of somebody who Ilya could beat.
Gets back to what I was just saying. To like depend on how they're going to do this. Is it going to be the legit number one contender? You know, they fight within the next month or so. Dragunov versus Dijak? that would be a banger.
Yes,
You know, like it's
and they have
It gives-
history.
yeah, it gives Dijak a step up again. You know, puts him in the main title picture for once. You
No,
know, and
I still got Nightwolf. Finish that story.
But we don't need it. DJ Nightwolf is done.
God damn,
But
it's a little much, Ty.
I really want Briggs to have a showing in this.
Mhm.
Show me what you got. You want a big stage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me what you have.
So if Trick wins, and we're setting up a match, you know, Donald, you said you're going to see. You think this is going Triple H HBK.
Yes.
You know, you could basically have, you know, Mello screw Trick out of that match.
Yeah.
You know, and set up Stand and Deliver. So if they do it
True.
at say Vengeance Day.
Mhm.
So those are the two. Those are my two that I think have potential to win, Dijak and Trick. Either match I would enjoy. I think Trick makes most sense right now. He's hot, you know. He has huge momentum in NXT right now,
He does.
you know. So it would. I think everybody would enjoy Trick winning this. So Dijak would be my personal opinion, but I think I'm gonna go. My actual prediction would be for Trick.
I'm tossing up between Braun or Trick.
I don't
Braun
need Braun
just
back in the title picture at all.
Just because he needs something to do, man.
You need to go back to destroying
I
talent.
mean, it's just everybody's storyline. Just the most random people. Like, but give me Trick.
All right, Jason, you had mentioned your match of the night earlier. Is that after going through the card? Is that still your match of the night?
Toss up between that and Dom and Dragon League.
Okay.
When you have the third best in the world fighting on any night,
They
gotta
that
go
match
with
they
him.
had before on SmackDown, or
Yes.
or Raw, whichever one it was.
I'm not
That's
expecting. I'm hoping the Iron Survivors could go, but I'm not expecting either of them to stand out.
Mhm.
My money wants to go to the North American Championship, but I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna go Steel Cage match. I'm hoping that becomes match of the night.
My jabroni part on this, it was just overall with the Iron Survivors, the men and the women's. Whenever they had their little preview of all of them in the ring talking, the women, and then it just broke out into a brawl, and then the men's broke out into a brawl, and then a second brawl. Like I had enough of that. Man, I don't need whenever a
Doing
group.
AEW booking.
Yeah, like whenever a brawl happens, whenever there's 3 or more people happening all the time. I mean, I know it's the go home shows and all that stuff, but yeah, you got to chill on that.
I told
Everything
Dawn,
don't need to be a brawl. Everything
Well-
don't need to be a brawl.
I told Dawn they booked it how you book Raw and SmackDown before pay-per-view. You just do the same thing they did on Raw, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
It was just too much. And like Jason said earlier in the week to me, like with the men's, you had your brawl already. There was no need for them to come out a second time after Iliad and Corbin's meeting in the ring.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no need for that.
True. Okay. So that's NXT deadline tonight. How do you guys feel about the card overall? You know, after talking about it, you excited for the card? Not excited for the card?
NXT, I'm always excited. They always seem
My,
to
my favorite promotion out there, so I'm excited for it.
I said this to Donald yesterday. Me and him were talking. I said the last couple NXT events, and like that I've watched. I haven't watched TV in a bit, but the main events and TV that I've watched just hasn't got me into it. Like that last event, I thought was awful that they put on.
Mhm.
So it's like this is kind of like the make or break NXT with me. Like if I don't enjoy this, like I think NXT might be wiped off for me.
What do you mean, like the Halloween Havoc or their PPA?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, it wasn't Halloween Havoc. It was whatever the actual like pay-per-view was.
Oh, okay.
Like that just did nothing for me.
We still
I
don't have the
never watched
takeover
that.
feel to you yet.
No, not even close.
Mhm.
Like it's cool that they're touring, you know, because that gives like the energy from the audience. But I don't know, it just doesn't. It doesn't like do anything at all. Like, the whole show really. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. You know, I don't know if I haven't decided yet which one I'm going to watch live tonight yet. You know, whether I watch Deadline or Impact, because I can watch both of them. So, I'll figure that out as the night goes on. Before we get into Impact, why don't we go through Jabronis? Dawn, you just covered yours. Did you have any other ones, or was that
Yeah.
it?
Good. No, because I don't watch anything else. So
Jason, what was your Jabroni of the week?
Mine's in the world of wrestling, but out of the ring.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the casting of the Iron Claw.
Really?
Yes,
We're going with this already without it even coming out.
we're going with this already. I was just thinking, like, Texas Tornado is tall. Zac Efron and the other guy, they're short guys. They're like 5'8". I looked it up. Everybody's at least a half a foot smaller than they are. A half foot smaller than they are in real life. So that's like Steve playing Chris, Donald playing me. Like, it may not sound like much when you say like half a foot, but when we're standing side to side,
yeah,
there's a huge ass difference.
Yeah. I mean, they could do lifts. I don't know if they're going to, but they could do lifts.
Lifts ain't gonna bump you up 6 feet or 6 inches.
No.
you need that camera work.
Look like they got all these frail dudes playing wrestlers. Not frail, but they work the body out.
I was going to say, that, right? The pictures, they don't look frail. So
These short kings playing legit wrestlers. Come on, man.
Vince McMahon down here, like, you need to be at least 6 foot to step in my ring.
Especially back then, too. Especially back then when, you know, like, oh, they're giants and all that stuff. You know? Yeah. You can't have it.
The small. If you look at the matches, they're smaller than everybody in the ring. I think the tallest one is 6'2", and he's playing the 6'8" guy. If you can make 6'2" look like 6'8", you're a master cinematologist, whatever you call it.
It's all about camera angles.
That's what post-production's for. People like, we just could lift you up. There you go.
Shoot everything from above the waist.
Filming the movie was like, what, $100,000 after CGI? It's going to be $3 million.
And then who does MJF play?
I'm not sure.
The devil.
Don't want to look at that character too, because MJF ain't tall.
MJF is playing MJF.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's one of the brothers or if he's like another wrestler.
No, I don't think he's one of the brothers.
He's probably playing Ric Flair. Woo!
Somebody didn't want their name used in the film. Did you know who that was? I just saw the article, but I couldn't remember who it was. No. Okay.
I just seen the picture. I didn't know what it was for. I had no idea.
Was it a family member or was it?
No, it was another wrestler. It might have been Michael Hayes. I don't know.
Oh, because it's not a WWE film. He couldn't have his name in the film. How do you guys feel about the movie? Like, other than that, do you think like something you're gonna want to watch or not into it?
I knew nothing about the movie till Jason said something about it.
Mm.
I just seen pictures of Efron and MJF, and I was like, "What's this for?" I wasn't looking into it.
Yeah.
I've watched the trailer. I've seen like a couple. the dude that's on the bear. I don't know what his name is, but he's in it. He plays one of the brothers too. I think he might play Kevin, the tallest of the tall.
No, he plays Texas, or he plays.
He's Carrie.
Who's the main character about? I don't think Carrie's the main. I don't think Carrie's the main character.
Then it might be Kevin.
So
Kevin's the last surviving brother. So
you said Kevin?
Yeah.
So Kevin's Efron. He's Carrie, and then the other guy is the tallest brother.
Okay.
Yeah. You got some shoes to fill to play Texas Tornado.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
My favorite wrestlers growing up.
That's somehow the movie's gonna be about Hogan.
Wait for that red carpet interview.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. You're not gonna sell me on a Zac Efron movie. This is High School Musical. So.
Damn Taquan. Jeez.
Damn. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be one that I go see in the theater, but whenever it's streaming, I'll give it a watch. So we'll see how that goes. Anything else for Jabroni of the week, or is that it?
That's it.
I'm gonna go for this week. Just more of a discussion again. But the Jabroni itself will be WWE budget cutbacks this week, and the two that one was officially acted upon and one's talked about at the moment and could be acted upon in 2024. The one that's definitely happening is that WWE has eliminated WWE Home Video, so there won't be any more DVDs or Blu-rays released after the end of this year. They said there could always be a potential, one-off release or something here or there, like special edition. But somebody like me that was a big collector of WWE DVDs and stuff before the network, I haven't recently because they haven't been releasing as much. Like take this year, they released on Peacock, the Cody Rhodes documentary and the Kurt Angle documentary. We're just documentaries on there, no DVD release or anything like that. So there hasn't been much to buy really, and stuff that they were releasing was just on the network. So that's really turned off for me. But that's going away.
I can see why. I mean, it's with the times, of course.
Exactly.
And maybe
if it was like documentaries, I'd keep it. If it was like shows, I'd not do it with the shows.
I can see like Mania. You could put a Mania one out because I think people still buy it.
But then they were still dropping DVDs. They weren't even dropping the Blu-ray.
Yeah. Because even after they started doing the Blu-ray, they cut that back first, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like Don, what you said, it's going with the times. You had mentioned Target got rid of their department. Best Buy already announced that they're getting rid of their department, this upcoming year. So it's the way everybody's going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or it'll be back in a couple, 10 years.
There'll be an outrage once people's contents, how they take stuff back every month and all that stuff. Like, you're not going to get this. Once that happens, people get mad about it and it'll come back.
I mean, I still have all my WWE DVDs.
I do too.
I still have all my WWE VHSs.
I do also.
It's like, and I always keep thinking about like, what do I do with these things? Like other than just keeping them in storage at this point,
Very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same way. I noticed I used to pop in a wrestling DVD whenever I didn't have anything else to watch. I rarely go on to Peacock to watch something.
Mm-hmm. And Peacock could cut content also too, like within the match and all that stuff. Then plus I like going back and watching my DVD or VHS collection because of the music sometimes. Yeah. To get that official music they had during that era.
Yeah, because One Night Stand 2005, Enter Sandman doesn't hit the same way as the pay-per-view did.
I can't tell you the last time I used a Blu-ray or DVD. I refuse to get off the couch and put one in, but I'd still rather do that than navigate through Peacock, like you said, bro.
It's different. Like it's just. Yeah, I don't know. it'll be interesting to see how this moves forward. You know, but in a few years, are the hipsters going to be one DVDs and Blu-rays again?
Look,
That's
Donald's
what
are.
happened with Vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vinyl.
vinyl and VHSs.
Man.
They're all about VHS tapes too.
Man, Vinyl made a strong comeback.
So getting Christmas stuff out, I found some Disney VHSs that I didn't realize I still had. I was like, oh, I might have to look on eBay for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
My mother used
See
to
what I can get
collect
for
them.
these.
especially the diamond ones.
Yeah. So that was one of them, and then the other cutback. They didn't officially announce it yet. They just said something they're looking at is completely cutting house shows. So on the weekends they run Saturday night's main event and Sunday Stunner or something like that now, and it looks like they're just moving in the direction of if it's not for TV, it's not happening.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Because I mean, the stuff you see in house shows is just like you get to see the wrestlers' freedom, and that's good sometimes.
yeah.
And
It's strictly from a budgetary perspective. This was somebody from Endeavor that was talking about it, saying that they lose money on the house shows and they just don't see it being something that is feasible as down the road at some point.
I could see them doing it in the big cities because the big cities could get a Raw or a SmackDown or a pay-per-view, but like the small towns,
You look scared.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think that's what they look forward to. So they shouldn't have cut them for the smaller towns.
And that's actually, he brought that up in the conversation that C&D markets do better because that leads to more people coming in and even turn around watching on TV afterwards.
Yeah,
So those markets do better, but I guess they're still losing money on even in those markets.
I wouldn't cut them. I'd cut back because you still need the repetitions for the wrestlers.
yeah. Especially if you go into a feud, you want to get to know your opponent.
Yeah,
And what about
because I don't see them doing like what AEW does. AEW uses them 1 or 2 days a week, and then they can do indies or do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For some of them, not everybody, but
Yeah.
I don't see WWE going that way.
No, not at all.
No. So we'll see.
And they also
Yeah.
cut
Yeah, I
Malik, Mackenzie Mitchell last week.
Yeah,
She was backstage for NXT.
and I saw Shawn Michaels say that he wasn't even aware that it was happening. He was just as surprised whenever he heard.
Isn't that Vic Joseph's girl?
I think so.
It is. That's his wife.
Not RIP, but
Mackenzie Mitchell was a highlight to me. Highlight of the show.
Man, that tells you how
Well-
much pull Vic Joseph have.
I was like, why is Wes sad? I didn't realize he had a back injury. I thought he was just playing up that Mackenzie's gone. Then he came,
you know what that tells
then he
you
came out of
about
cuts.
You know what that tells you about Vic Joseph, Donald? Guess who's next?
Exactly. You could be going too.
Hey Ava, we need a new spot for you. You're not gonna be the general manager anymore.
Don't put her on.
You want to be at the desk with Booker? Or you want to be in the back with a mic?
She needs some vocal training to be on commentary.
Yeah. So I don't remember who it was. There was something that I watched recently. It was a few weeks back, and they were talking about like Dusty used to do promo class in NXT, and since Dusty passed, and what are we talking about? Like 10 years now,
Mhm.
they haven't had promo class. No one's taken over that role. Like, I get no one can fill Dusty's shoes, but if anybody needs promo class right now, it's this class of NXT.
I thought Smiley was back there working with him too.
No, I don't think Smiley was working with
No.
that with promos.
Mm.
I know he was in ring. I don't think he was with promos. There's only one man who could do it, but his schedule's busy. Heyman.
Oh,
I thought you were going for a joke there.
No,
I thought you were going to say Rick.
no, Heyman.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
I mean, but do you even need somebody to head it? Like, I mean, as long as you got people like working out their routines, you'll be good.
Did you hear that summit with the female Iron Survivors?
Yeah, but then you giving people like here, say this. They're not. I mean, you can run classes without Dusty having to be there
Or I mean,
or Paul.
Bailey's still on TV a lot, but she's willing to help the youngers out. She could be another one.
Yeah.
Promo classes. Maybe.
Everybody start out. Ding dong, hello. All right. So let's get into Impact predictions now. Jason, you got your popcorn?
No.
You about to go 8 for 8.
We got 8. With a countdown match, we got 8. So we'll kick it off here. Got countdown match: Frankie Kazarian versus Sheldon Jean.
Kazarian 1 bucket.
I don't know who Shelton Jean is. Could be Shelton Benjamin.
It's not Shelton Benjamin.
Impact Day.
Yeah, that's an Impact Day.
The silver standard.
You see how bad we are. How bad I am with this. I'm going Kazarian.
Donald going against the young talent. I'm going for Sheldon. Kazarian's definitely an obvious choice. Sheldon's a young talent. I think this would do more for Sheldon. So I'm going with him for this one.
If it ain't on TV, it didn't happen.
On YouTube.
If it ain't on TV, it didn't happen.
Going on the main card, Impact Digital Media Championship, Tommy Dreamer versus Diener.
Tommy Dreamer's another one of those ones that got to be done. I mean,
I'm not going to argue with that.
I mean, come on.
I've been watching him in the ring this year, and it's looking rough. Like, I like Tommy. Don't get me wrong.
I do
like
too.
Tommy,
I do.
But
this ain't 1996.
Yeah. Like this is if Tommy has to have a title in 2023, 2024, this is the title to put on Tommy, but it's not. It's run its course for me.
The only title he needs is GM of Impact. That's the only title he needs.
Yeah.
I hate this title altogether, but I'm gonna go Diener.
I'm not a fan of this title either, Jason. Like, it's your TV title, but
it's just another title. That's all what it is.
Yeah.
Just another title. I'm going Diener.
I'm going to go with Tommy. I think he'll retain it. But it's time to put this belt on somebody else. Whenever the TNA transition happens, it's time to put the belt on somebody else. Up next, we got Rhino versus Moose, a.k.a. my bathroom break match of the night.
Two of the same people fighting. Again, Rhino's another one of those ones that it's time to hang it up. I mean, how many times can I see the gore?
Yeah. Somebody that has been in, off and on. He's had different runs in different companies, but Rhino, I think, was there for the first pay-per-views in 2004, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been in the company almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Not consistent, but plus the ECW stuff for however long he was in ECW before that. 5 or more years.
In WWE.
Yeah.
Back and forth with that. I'm going Moose.
Yep. Give me Moose.
I'm going to go with Moose as well. I think it just makes sense. Moose is the number 1 contender right now. You got Moose go.
That's the same thing I was.
Moose has Alex Shelley at Hard to Kill next month, so that's Warner Brothers.
Sponsored by.
They can't do that.
AEW's match of the night.
God no. Jake something versus Jason Hotch.
Sound like two fraternity brothers fighting each other.
I'm actually not too familiar with Jason Hotch. Jake something is a talent that for a few years I really didn't care about in Impact. You know, like he was one of those ones. Like whenever I talk about talent that I don't care about, and I would just fast forward through a match or something.
Mhm.
That was Jake something there for a bit. 2023's changed my mind a little bit on Jake something. You know, like over time. So I'm gonna go with Jake something just for that reason, but I can't give like an actual good reason for either one.
I feel like we've seen Jason Hotch in person.
We might have.
I think, but I'm gonna go with Jake something.
Jake something.
Exactly what their name is. They come from a town called Parts Unknown. Up next with a match that I think could have real potential, we've got Mike Bailey versus Trey Miguel.
Anytime either two of these are in the ring, it possibly could be match of the night.
Yeah.
And these two are in the ring with each other. Match of the night for me. Calling it now. But I'm going with Bailey. Going with the younger talent.
He's on a hot streak.
Yes, he is.
Bailey.
Yeah. We'll go 3 for 3.
Yeah. That's the one that just
Potential
fought Ospreay, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think he'll lose this match.
Potential for match of the night. Here's a question. You know, this isn't for a title. You know, X Division title isn't on the line at this event. But do you... TNA was always known for doing like high-flying, usually X Division style matches to open up a card. You put this one on first? Because it's kind of where I put it, but...
To get the crowd into it, yes. You know, that's always the formula for any promotion.
Yeah.
Minus WWE. But yeah. You get the crowd riled up.
I think this next match could have potential too for an opener. So after we go through this, see what you think. Impact World Tag Team Championship, ABC versus Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. I think you give either one of these matches, I think the crowd gets hyped for that. But sometimes I don't like title matches necessarily, always to open up the show.
Give me Bay and Austin to return. Or to return, retain.
They just got the belts back the last event. They ain't dropping it right now. ABC for the win.
Yeah, same. I don't need to see ABC drop the belts. They've been a tag team longer than I've expected them to be a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've done some single stuff in between too, but you know, they've been holding steady for that. Yes. So all right, around the horn, they're gonna retain.
I know a tag team that's better than them.
Go ahead.
The Usos.
Pretty damn.
Did they do anything last night?
They did not.
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
I was looking for stuff, and I was
So
just
that
like,
was
really? How do you know that?
So that was a wasted time for me. Fast forwarding through SmackDown.
Yeah. You watched Phil though the whole segment, right?
Who?
Up next,
I wanted
Trinity and Jordan.
I wanted to turn so bad. I was looking at my phone. I rolled over on the other side.
Trinity and Jordan Grace versus Deonna Purrazzo and Giselle Shaw. So I'll preface this with Deonna is rumored to be leaving.
Mm-hmm.
That her contract's up and that she's going to be heading out of Impact, which surprises me.
So, how are they playing this? Is this a good team?
This is WWE booking of Trinity and Jordan are fighting in Hard to Kill. So their last,
So they got to tag together.
the
first.
go home show, they need to have a tag match
Okay.
together. They have to coexist before they can fight each
Because
other.
all I see is these four twerking together on my timeline, and you're killing kayfabe.
Yeah.
Just to have a match right here. Like I hope nobody's like Uber Hill in this match.
I'd say if anybody, the strongest heel, because for me, Deonna love and hate her. They love to hate her, and she she plays a heel, but they boo her, like they cheer her when she comes out.
Yeah.
You know, she's given her time, and she's just Deonna fucking Purrazzo.
Yeah.
At this point, if anybody's a stronger heel in this match, it would be Giselle.
Okay.
You know, kind of playing up almost like a beautiful people type storyline in a way.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm going. Go, Jason.
Trinity and Jordan can't lose. Or they could, and it spark it. But yeah, I don't think they lose.
Yeah.
I'm going with Purrazzo and Shaw to beat Trinity. Like something will happen with Trinity and Grace. They'll get in each other's face. Then somebody will get rolled up and, you know, just add it to the story.
Come on, a roll up.
Roll up.
Come on. He's like, I've seen this match a million times.
Deadliest move in all professional wrestling, right? Especially in women's wrestling. Gotta go Trinity and Jordan, right? You know, it's just that's the match next month, so I don't see them losing. Main event: Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Alex Shelley, the Impact World Champion, Chris Sabin, the X Division Champion, versus Josh Alexander and Zack Sabre Jr., Donald's favorite wrestler in the world, making his debut in Impact Wrestling.
Yep, and for that, Motor City Machine Guns were the win. Because I don't recognize Josh Alexander as partner.
Who's the champ right now?
Alex Shelley.
So, what kind of pay-per-view is this? Is this like a Survivor Series? You have one.
No, this is like an in your house.
Okay. Okay. You have one title on the line, and it's the one singles title on the line. It's the digital.
You got two. You got the tag title and the digital.
I mean,
that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it, though. Yeah.
It just seemed like it's one of those mid pay per
legit
view
title.
that's leading up storyline to the bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a run in here.
Yo,
How you doing?
I literally pulled a Jason and just woke up.
How you pulling me? I'm on time every
Just-
show.
Bro, just woke up, bro. I got 7 missed calls from my wife, 6 text messages. I called her back and she's like, yeah, you didn't wake up. I'm like, why didn't you wake me up before you left? And she was like, because it was like 9 o'clock. It wasn't time for you to get up yet. I'm like, what do you mean it wasn't time for me to get up yet? It's 9 o'clock. I'm sleeping in on Saturday. She's like, I called you 7 times. I'm like, my phone's on vibrate and I don't have my watch is charging. Like listen, she's been sick all week and I hope I'm not getting whatever she had because I literally slept 13 hours.
Hey,
Your
your body needed
it.
that.
Bro, I haven't slept that long since I was like 19. I was all flustered. I woke up trying to figure out where I was at, what time it was, everything else. I couldn't get the time to show on the TV because it was YouTube TV, so I kept trying to figure it out. And finally, I rolled over and I rolled over on my nightstand and was like, "Oh, yeah, it's fucking noon." Look here, hold on. This is her calling me right now. Hold on, I'm gonna mute myself.
So this is an interesting match for me, because whenever New Japan talent comes in, sometimes like whenever they do those talent exchanges, sometimes you just never know. You know, like right now, there's no match set up for any of these guys other than Alex Shelley at Hard to Kill. Alex Shelley's got Moose. The rest of them, I think me and Steve talked about this a couple times recently about what do you do with Josh Alexander and what are you doing with Zack Sabre Jr.? Like, does that lead to a match with them at the next event? Which I would like to see, and I would also like to see potentially Will Ospreay add to that to make an awesome triple threat match. But with Ospreay signed to AEW, I know he's coming in to wrestle once in the TNA ring, but I don't know if it's just going to be a one-off or if they're going to do something with him before he heads to AEW. So for that, I'm going to go with Motor City Machine Guns, just because I think you have to set up a match with Josh Alexander and Zack Sabre Jr. outside of this.
You still think that's where they go for a Hard to Kill?
I don't know if that's definitely what's happening, because the whole thing with Ospreay signing with AEW is kind of throwing a little wrench in what I was expecting to happen.
Well, Ospreay wants to run back Alexander again.
I'd like to see it as a triple threat more than just a one-on-one with the three of them, but
I don't know. That's yeah. Well, who said is the Saban? Saban doesn't have anybody for Hard to Kill yet, right?
no, not right now. So you could open something up with that too.
I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. and Chris Sabin is that's a pretty enticing matchup for myself. We know Shelley is tied up at Hard to Kill already.
Yep, got Moose already.
So if you're gonna run with him and Moose, and you have Alexander and Ospreay running back, you go Sabin and Shelley 1-on-1, or I'm sorry, Sabin and Zack Sabre Jr. I'm cool with those three matchups at Hard to Kill if that's what you're gonna go with.
I wouldn't be upset with that matchup.
Have them two wrestled against each other before? Sabin and Zack Sabre in New Japan?
They may have. Offhand, I don't know for sure.
So, yeah, that's what I do. But as far as this tag team matchup goes, give me Alexander and Zack Sabre Jr. just for shits and giggles.
Okay. Honestly, whatever team wins, I'm happy with in here.
My mic sounds that bad.
That's the phone.
Is it my mic sound that bad, or is that just my voice? Right?
That's
sounds
your
clear.
morning
I think it
voice.
sounds okay.
That's
It
your
sounds
morning
clear.
voice.
Yeah, that's his just woke up voice.
Yeah. Give me a Sabre and Alexander.
Got to get out of bed for a payday, Taquan. I can't believe I did that. I'm a grown ass man and I overslept my own podcast.
The 100% meaning of dumb mark.
Yes. If you want an example of what this show is, just roll that clip back about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago where I just say, I overslept. Terrible.
We just made it a call-in show. That's all we did today.
So, hey, long-time listener, first-time caller, I'd really like to talk about Zack Sabre Jr.
Stan guy, I love the show.
Well, that's us. We ain't spring chickens anymore.
Dawn, remember Wrestle Pit,
Yes.
the Matt Taven match?
Yes.
Jason Hart was one of the guys in those.
Okay. Oh, that was the guy who was patting himself on the back.
I thought he was a cowboy dude, but no, he's that
Yeah,
guy. So
Okay, yeah.
we changed my mind from Jake something to Jason Hodge.
Okay. Same here.
Barry Horowitz patting himself on the back.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
It
we're
is
in
top
2020.
notch, Jason
We're in
Hodge.
2023, and nobody has stolen that gimmick from Horowitz.
You
It's like,
you have.
Well,
You
of
have.
course I have. I know I have. but I'm talking about on a professional wrestling standpoint. Nobody has, out of everything that has been stolen and redone, you think with all the just egomaniacs that somebody would steal I'm gonna pat myself on the back gimmick. Nope, hasn't happened yet.
When DMW starts and we have our own wrestling league, then you can start patting yourself on the back on TV.
I'm patting myself back on the back right now just for logging into this
For
podcast.
showing up.
Listen, we don't need to know what you're doing without a camera on right now. Okay.
I would turn the camera on, but like as Jason said, like I've like when you first wake up face, yeah, no, it's not pretty right now.
That's exclusive.
Jason's face every week whenever he logs in.
Yeah,
That's exclusive. Nobody used to see that.
right. Keep that.
Let me
That comes
throw some water in the eyes.
All right. So, Steve, while you're here, we have a game this week. Jason, set it up.
I did Barry push Barry release of people whose careers were cut short. Still in the business, but who would you have liked to see more?
Interesting.
Corey Graves, Jason Jordan, Tyson Kidd.
You put some thought into this.
A little bit. Not much.
Well, I mean, it's still all WWE guys. So.
I mean, because I couldn't think of anybody else, and I try to keep it like people who were like still in the business and not, either gone or just done wrestling altogether.
So Graves was in NXT. Career ended with concussions, correct?
Yes.
And then Jason Jordan was main roster neck injury, and Tyson Kidd was main roster neck injury, but got hurt by Samoa Joe in an NXT match. So there's a lot of ties between the three, as far as NXT main roster, who's where what. Taquan got pushed Tyson Kidd, Barry Corey Graves, release Jason Jordan. I'm not saying that name for him. Yeah.
I feel like there's a light skin in there.
Yeah, release Kurt Angle's son. I don't know. This is
interesting.
Yeah.
So Jordan was majority tag team wrestler, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyson Kidd's best run was in a tag team with Cesaro.
Yeah.
And Graves, see, I didn't watch NXT when Graves was there.
Same here.
He was.
But he tagged, right?
I think it was him and Neville were
Yeah,
tag team champs down there.
Yeah. So again, more similarities.
They weren't really a tag team, but
Just want them thrown together.
yeah.
I
He
think,
had a good run in NXT. He had a good run here in Pittsburgh in the Indies too.
yeah. Out of the three, I think Jason Jordan had the look to go the furthest. I think Tyson Kidd's the best wrestler, and Corey's the best promo.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were to mash up all three of them, you would have a top WWE superstar.
Yes, you would.
Between the look, the wrestling, and the promo. Yeah. Like this was, like build your favorite quarterback, and they do all that
yeah.
type games. Build your favorite wrestler. Like these aren't three bad people to select
No.
from.
Give
For
me.
me-
Go ahead.
For me, I'm gonna go push Jordan. I really wanted to see what he had. Barry Kidd and release Graves.
That's the exact same way I'm going to.
Mine was push Jordan, Barry Graves. I just wanted to see what kind of heel he would be, just because I know he's pesky on the mic, and then release Tyson Kidd.
Like I think Jason had just such unlimited potential,
Mhm.
in the company. Like who knows where he could have gone.
Mhm.
Tyson, that's why I say bury him too, because it's like if you're not going to push him, at least I can still watch him. And I always enjoyed watching Tyson Kidd match. So
I think Tyson, you know where you stand at. Like he's never going to be main event.
hell of an NXT run for him though.
It
too.
was.
Did you hell of a match?
Yeah,
That's
it
for sure.
was.
Match is, I mean, you
Yeah.
got some of the most, arguably some of the best NXT matches of all time.
And he had character come out in that too.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. There was so much there with him in NXT, but you didn't get it on the main roster,
Nope.
Mhm.
which is crazy.
I didn't see him in NXT.
Yeah.
I missed that little run.
Yeah, that was a good run. Even Natalia was down there with him,
Okay.
and stuff that she was doing was incredible down there too.
I will just because he's a local guy, I'll push Graves. I'll bury Jordan and release Kidd.
Okay.
But I'm pushing Graves as a heel, like Jason
Oh.
said.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
he got to be a heel.
Yeah.
Could never see him as a face.
I think if he would ever have been the top heel, he would have been that cool heel, you know. So people love to hate him.
I don't know. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
He'd be a Logan Paul. Oh no, they just hate him.
I think they just hate Logan
They just
Paul.
hate Logan Paul.
All right. So obviously that's the game for the week. Did you guys broke down both shows?
Yeah.
Broke down both shows. Do you have your Mount Rushmore jabroni you want to talk about?
So let me hear just give me a quick recap of Mount Rushmore and Jabroni so I don't say the same thing again.
Last Legend, Mount Rushmore, Jabroni, the Iron Claw film.
Oh, whoa!
The casting.
Oh, the casting. I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
everybody's a half a foot shorter than their portrayed wrestler. So.
well, I mean, everybody puts lifts in their boots in wrestling, anyways. Like what
That's what Chris said.
You ain't getting 5 inch lifts.
Oh, there's people out there. Look, there's people out
It's a
there
movie.
5 inch
CGI is
lifts.
going to be involved. Post production, like
He's out there running around Dakota Kai boots. No.
Yeah,
Bye.
Lash was up there for me this week. That was one of the more impressive things I've seen in a wrestling ring in a really long time. Even if Otis has his part to play in completing the slam, that's still impressive as all hell.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, like I was saying, we talk about moments over matches, and that could be a makeable moment.
That was a moment. That shit went viral like wildfire.
That's what I said to Donald or to Jason. I said that I saw that on stuff that wasn't even wrestling on in reels. So people were paying attention to
And
that.
it turned half the crowd that night. So
Donald, go ahead with yours.
My Mount Rushmore was Trick Williams, and my jabroni was the brawls for the Iron Survivors, men and women's, and Dragon Lee just getting a title shot out of nowhere.
Well, Wesley is legitimately injured, so you got to give somebody the title shot.
Oh, I knew that he's legitimately injured, but I'm just saying that Dragon Lee just pulled a Charlotte Flair. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna get a title shot. Dom takes.
I mean, it makes sense. They've been back and forth on the main roster a little bit, like.
But that's my match of the night for NXT.
Is Dragon Lee and Dom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any surprise there?
No surprise, not at all.
My Mount Rushmore was Impact in Mexico this week, just for something different style matches and matchups. And then Jabroni was the WWE cutbacks of eliminating WWE home video and eliminating house shows.
Why is that a jabroni for you?
For me, for like the home video, we talked about it that, you know, it's just a sign of the times. It's changing and it's got to happen. But I've been a huge collector of DVDs.
Well, yeah, collector. I get the collector aspect of it.
I get it. Like, I get it from the business standpoint of it. Like, I'm not arguing that they shouldn't be doing either one, but
like, you still want that physical copy.
Yeah.
Do you think if you cut back on house shows, because a lot of times you see them work out a gimmick, work out a feud on the house show loop, do the match a couple times before it actually makes TV. At least that's how they always operated under Vince. I haven't been to a house show under Triple H yet, so I don't know how different it is, if it's different at all. But do you think main roster wise, will you notice a difference in the product at all if the house shows get tailored
That's
down?
what Donald said. You know, a lot of talent works out their gimmicks. You know, they need that in-ring time, you know,
Jason said it,
to get better. And
I mean, potentially you could be looking at like that.
You said the feuds.
Yeah. It'll be different because even though NXT was just NXT, but you had the Performance Center there, so you're working even when you're not doing TV, you're working and performing at the center. And then they also had their little Florida house show loop that they did prior to COVID. So like they got time to get out there in front of a crowd and everything else.
They're doing those again, so they've been back on that this year. So I don't know if that's going to go away too, or if they're just talking main roster.
I mean, AEW announced they were doing house shows and they ran what, 1?
I think 2.
So, see, from a business standpoint, it's a lot. You're paying talent, logistics, booking arenas, fees, everything, all that. Is it the most marketable way to get your product across and earn money in 2023? Probably not.
And AEW did something different this week that I think they did for the first time, and I'm kind of interested in seeing if this changes things up for them, where they traveled to the same town, did Collision on Tuesday, and then did Dynamite Live Wednesday. And I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing more of those back-to-back tapings again.
Tapings for
where they're live one night and then taping another show another night.
Taping for
so they're in there for AEW.
Oh, AEW. Okay, I thought you were still on WWE. I don't want to go.
No, but like with like this house show thing that like I wonder if that's a way that even AEW will cut back on some money.
But like, how don't they like saying WWE? Why don't they just run like? I don't get how they like go. I know you got to like find the venue, but they're jumping across the state just to come back to it, or across the country just to come back to another spot. Like if you're in Pittsburgh, like Dawn said, work the local shows, do your Wilkes-Barre, your Hershey for the lesser markets.
Scream.
Yeah.
Scream.
Like map out your logistics or map out your itinerary better.
Yeah.
They used to do that. Like it used to be like you could play connect the dots like with anybody, and even AEW got away from that this year. Like whenever they first started, they were doing that. Like we're just working this area, and then we'll go back up, and then go over here, and now they're just like, what is that? They were in Montreal this week. This upcoming week, they're going to be in Texas. It's like makes no sense. But when you fly talent in and out every week,
the cost with the house show model just seems to be more cost than profit, especially on the AEW side. WWE, you may, between ticket sales and merch and everything else, you may break even. I don't think you're making, if you are making something, I don't think you're making a ton on a house show, but more than likely you're just covering your own costs.
wait for that.
All right. So is Pro still on the show? I saw he was in here early, but he might have left. My Mount Rushmore this week is none other than CM Punk. Okay. Wrestling aside, because in ring wise, there was a lot to put on Mount Rushmore this week, and I didn't feel like breaking down each and every single one to say this was the best or that was the best, because I thoroughly enjoyed Sammy and Drew. There was
best in the world.
But I went with best in the world. I went with spicy CM Punk, as he said last night on the show. And it's not so much Punk himself. It's just more the rollout. Like we talked about Randy Orton and his rollout last week coming out of the pay-per-view, and people were feeling like, oh, he got upstaged, but then you had him be the focal point on Monday night. You had him be the focal point on Friday night. He had the contract signing, the interaction with the Bloodline, RKO and Nick Aldis, which I thought was hilarious. He gave him $100,000 check last night and told him it was, that's for next time, because the fine was $50,000. So that was good there. But I think it was just more the rollout of Punk and the interactions that you saw on the screen last night. And you set it up, announcing him to be on SmackDown Friday, and then you teased what's going to happen for Raw on Monday. So you're getting people to tune in to both shows based on how you're rolling him out. And that's how he should be used for rollouts like that. Put him in something interesting. You saw him with Cody in Aldis's office. I was like, okay, that's something there. There's history there. There's back and forth there. There's AEW history there. Hell. But there's a lot there. I saw him and Kevin Owens in the backstage. That one really got me like, yeah, I want to see that match. They are very much alike. And then you have Owens being damn near best friends with the Young Bucks for his entire career. So like, how do you play? Can you put business over personal in that situation if you have them two go into a feud? Because I would love to hear them two on the mic against each other. Personally.
This man's gonna wrestle less than Roman.
Who, KO?
No, CM Punk.
Oh. Yeah. So you got him and Owens interacting. Then you got him, Orton, and LA Knight interaction. Like you work, and then the promo where you mentioned Seth without mentioning Seth by name. You threw in the cheesy, he's not the man in his own house line, whatever. I get it. But it's a dig to get Seth all pissed off. After Seth just gave an interview talking about how he doesn't let emotions get to him, but that night he did. And like I just feel like they're working it the way they need to work it right now to get me to Seth versus CM Punk. So saying, oh, that's all he got is that song, so you might as well keep chanting it. Like I thought his digs last night at Seth were great. Tremendous. So it's not
he did his job.
Yeah. Yeah. So I liked everything they're doing from a presentation wise to set up CM Punk to have me engaged to where he doesn't need to be on my screen every week, but when he's there, it's something that's gonna matter or mean something, which is what a part-time older legend is supposed to do.
I'm wondering how much they're going to use him. Like if he's going to be on, like after he picks his brand on Monday, is he going to be on every week, or is he going to like every couple weeks they'll bring him back? Like he'll take a couple week break and then come back for Rumble build up.
This man ain't Cody.
As far as being
He's
on
a weekly talent. Yeah,
Cody's weekly. But you don't need
Cody's not a part-timer.
See, that's where AEW dropped the ball with Punk. Because regardless of if he wanted to be a weekly talent, you haven't wrestled in, 7 years? 8 years? You're in your 40s, middle 40s. We don't need you out there week to week, bro. Like we could have you dibble and dabble. You can maybe wrestle a handful of matches more than what Sting does. But that we don't need you don't need him there every single week.
No.
And I feel like if they would have went that route, a lot of their problems wouldn't have crept up the way that they crept up. Granted, I think a lot of their internal fighting was just based off of the dynamic in the company itself and people running a wrestling company for the first time and EVPs who are workers who've never been EVPs before. And just, there's a lot into it that's not there in WWE. But you didn't need him there every single week on TV in your main events winning titles. That was the fan TK booking.
Or contract negotiation.
Or that. So.
Okay. What was your jabroni?
My jabroni this week was the announcements for Ring of Honor. Final Battle.
Athena injured.
They have Danielson and Yuta, offer this challenge up 6 days before the show just to get, another match on the card. And they're using it under the premise of Jay Briscoe. and we're gonna honor Jay Briscoe by having this match with the BCC against FTR and Mark Briscoe, and we're just gonna go out there and beat the hell out of each other. Like, okay, cool match announcement, yay! But why was this not a story that was ran on the freaking show that you could have built to get me invested in wanting to see the damn match because you had it based off of Jay Briscoe, who passed away this year?
It's not how he books Ring of Honor anymore.
And then you have the stupid Tony Nese and All Ego Ethan Page contract signing where TK's in the ring and he does the we're going to add a stipulation to this and it's going to be a last man standing match.
There was too many contracts this week.
Why are we why are we having a last man standing match?
TK did the contract signing?
Yeah.
I thought Stokely was the GM of Ring of Honor.
Exactly.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you see with that long ass table?
Yeah, long like it was one of those castle tables, in Shrek. It was the table from Shrek where he was just you pass the salt and there's like 17 people that got to hand it down an assembly line to get it from one side to the other. It's the longest table in contract signings ever.
A James Bond villain table.
But yeah, just let's have a last man standing match between them two. It's like, but you just had Ethan Page wrestle Kenny Omega, and it hasn't been seen in Ring of Honor. So what's he doing on the pay-per-view?
With a contract signing, no build.
With a contract signing. Like, it's the biggest feud in Ring of Honor ever that needs a contract signing.
You're definitely gonna get your $9.99 worth out of this pay-per-view.
Like, I think I saved the tweet. Let me pull it up here regarding the ticket sales for Ring of Honor so far.
But Athena still can't get on TV.
But yet she's supposed to be being pushed to be the women's star of Collision coming up in 2024. You know what? I was born, but I wasn't born yesterday. Okay, you're not gonna pull that bullshit on me.
No. She could have been the women's star on any program in 2023 instead of the program that no one watches.
Yeah.
That's that 1994 Vince. I'm pulling the wool over your eyes. You don't see what's going on here.
Yeah,
that is a real life garbage man you see on TV.
I hate how fucking Elon Musk just fucked up X so bad. I can't find none of my bookmarks, But anyways, like this, I think the amount of tickets that have sold for Ring of Honor, I think, are less than 2,000.
How big of a building, though?
I think it was like 3,500.
Okay.
So it's not even 50%. But it's like,
I mean, I'm sure they'll do exactly what they did here in Pittsburgh, and blast out some emails for lower the ticket prices and do buy one get one deals for it, and that'll bump it up a little bit. You have talent. You have talent that are bitching publicly about not getting time on TV, and then they're allegedly getting fined. I thought Bryan Danielson played that up beautifully on Twitter or X when he sent out the tweet. If you don't watch Rampage, Rampage.
I'm finding you all. Like he said, listen, I'm not. He said, do I sit on the committee? Yes. Am I the head of the committee? No. Like,
yeah.
But Brian's the feds. Yes, he is the feds. Absolutely. But you have talent bitching about not getting time on TV. Wait, Ortiz and Santana. Santana comes back. He hasn't been seen in 6 weeks after his comeback. You rushed their feud for a match on Rampage.
You need to chat somewhere else now?
They ain't been on the screen since.
Yep, that is true. That's bad.
He's a champ somewhere else.
On the indie somewhere.
Scheduling conflict.
Yeah, whatever. But yo, you
I mean, you
have
got 4 programs.
you
It's
have all
like-
these talents. What, like, I don't understand. Why do we not? The only person that has been assigned to the Ring of Honor roster because she hasn't been able to get on TV anywhere else is fucking Athena, and she's the
Athena.
one that should be on AEW TV the most.
But if they put her on AEW, she wouldn't be doing what she does over there.
No, I
They
listen.
wouldn't give
Don't
her all
touch.
that time.
Don't bring her over. Leave her in Ring of Honor. Do
Yeah.
not mess up
You'll
that
just damage her.
diamond. Do not mess up that diamond. That
Yeah.
that women's wrestler of the year in 2023, from my standpoint, as far as the entire package. Do not mess with that, because if you bring her over, you
Should
put her
be-
on TV once, and then I don't see her again until June's Battle of the Belts for, against Nyla Rose's AEW international TV championship. I'm gonna be pissed off.
She'll be the Black Sheeta. That's it.
That's definitely a possibility.
You have the women there to make your women's division exciting and matter and mean something, even without having like Thunder Rosa, who's been on the shelf with injury for over a year, Britt, who's been off with Adam Cole. Like, you still
Serena
have
out of injury.
Serena out injured, but you still have women there that can be workhorses to build up a division to make it exciting and make people want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't done shit with any of them.
Ty said Santana's the House of Glory world champion.
Yeah. He ain't busy. That's
Real busy.
That's work. My man got tour dates.
I was paraphrasing. I wasn't going to say all that.
But yeah, it's just I like the excitement I had for Ring of Honor Final Battle 2 years ago when it was their last show, and then the excitement that I had last year's Ring of Honor Final Battle, where
The whole pay-per-view for Ring of Honor just isn't the same as whenever they were just running pay-per-views. Since they added TV, it's just gone downhill.
so
Now they're booking a week out instead of booking 2 or 3 months in advance.
Yeah.
Just like they did whenever AEW started, before like they had Dynamite as TV. They were doing the same thing. You got anything else, man?
shout out TNA on their streaming deal. Lumped in. I don't know if it was brought up already or not.
No, we don't know about.
But yeah, just kudos to them signing inking a deal with Endeavor for streaming.
Their streaming platform needed an update, so
Going
put
live
money into it.
January 5th. I believe the announcement said.
Yes.
So you'll have, they're calling it what, TNA Plus instead of Impact
Yep.
Plus. So
Yep, they're getting the name change.
yeah, TNA Plus. But I mean, look, you have 20 years worth of stuff. We know what Impact Plus was as far as a streaming service, but at least now they have the capability to compete in that market, which somehow they got streaming before AEW did. So LOL AEW. How about that?
They had
TNA's been dead for how many years? They come back and get a streaming deal before AEW.
the thing that I laughed though was like their current plan is getting a price increase, so that's now going to be $10 a month or like $90 for the year. And then if you want the pay-per-views, which is good, I'm glad they're finally doing it. But that'll be like $220 for the year. So then you get everything included.
So wait, it's $220 for the year if you want pay-per-views.
If you want the actual like 4 pay-per-views that they do, like Bound for Glory and Slammiversary and Hard to Kill.
Plus the weekly show, the streaming, the back catalog, everything.
Yeah, and then the monthly events.
So you're looking at what, around
If you buy TNA pay-per-views,
$20
it's
a
worth
month,
it for you.
$20 a month,
Yeah.
roughly.
But you have to spend that 200 up front though. That's the only tier that you have. You have to spend the yearly.
Oh, you ain't get, you can't just apply when the reviews come on.
The $10 one is $10 a month or like 90 something for the year, and then it's $220 for the year if you want the pay-per-views.
So if they're charging 90 for the year without the pay-per-views, and you have
Correct,
but you're not just getting
you're getting the monthly specials with that level
with the $10.
you do like you do now. Yeah,
Okay, so you're not getting.
you just don't get the big four.
So the big four, you're charging what? 220 minus 90 is 130. 130 divided by. So you're looking at like $40 for a pay-per-view, which
So,
AEW
works itself out.
Yeah, AEW is 50. I don't know what's the Impact pay-per-view cost now.
I think it's 40.
So they didn't increase that. Like,
I don't know if you work with
hey,
numbers,
Taquan, we're not going to do that. But yeah, no.
I think that's a good way to. I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah. So that was it. I had several directions to go this week, but decided against it. And beggars can't be choosers when you jump on an hour and 10 minutes late.
Sleeping in on us.
Yeah, definitely.
Tune in next week when I do it.
I might not even be on next week, so at all. But all right, guys, thanks for tuning to episode 165 of the Dumb Marks podcast. Make sure you head over to all our social medias at Dumb Marks Pod. Give us a like, subscribe, hit the bell, get notifications when we go live each week. Email us, dumbmarkspod@gmail.com, and head over to dumbmarkspod.com for all the links and more of everything. And especially visit us on Spotify. Follow us on there. Listen to the show on there. Help us build that audience up. Donald, Jason, Steve, you guys got anything else before we wrap it up?
Congratulations to the Aliquippa Quips for winning another state title. Beat the boys down on Thursday, 60-14.
Are you equipped?
I'm not equipped, but I
don't shout them out.
I support their program the way that the states try to screw them all the time.
Steve, do you have a quote for us, or if not, it's cool.
Let me see here. I do. Let me just find it. All right, this week's quote of the week for a little positivity on Monday. Mike Tyson once said, "You have to train your mind to be stronger than your feelings, or else you will lose yourself." You have to train your mind to be stronger than your feelings, or else you will lose yourself. Much like Eminem did in 8 Mile. So with that being said, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, tell a Mark. And until next time, y'all can catch us around the way.
Bye-bye.